Hello guys, in this video we'll discuss about the ADX indicator, more specifically how to correctly analyze its signals, how to analyze the market by taking into account the ADX, and we will also see some interesting trading strategies for forex and stock market using this indicator. The average directional movement, or shortly the ADX, is an indicator that measures trend strength and shows trend direction. Basically, the ADX tells traders whether the bulls or the bears are in control of the market. The ADX is an oscillating indicator displayed as a single line, ranging from 0 to 100. The ADX only indicates the strength of the trend and does not indicate its direction. In other words, the ADX is non-directional, meaning that it measures the strength of the trend but doesn't distinguish between uptrends and downtrends. So during a strong upward trend, the ADX rises, and during the strong downward trend, the ADX also rises. Here is how you correctly read what ADX is saying about the market. There are 5 aspects regarding the interpretation of this indicator. When ADX, the blue line, is above 25, trend strength is strong enough for strategies involving trend following. In this example, we see the ADX line crossing the 25 threshold, indicating a strong bull market. Usually once the ADX gets above 25 level, this signals the beginning of a trend. Big moves, upwards or downwards, tend to happen when the ADX is right around this number. Of course, you can experiment with this number, because some traders that want faster signals tend to use a 20 threshold when trading with the ADX. Here's an example on the Aussie dollar chart of a trade based on the 20 level. The ADX line breaks above this level as the price continues its upward movement. Remember that ADX is non-directional, so its line above 25 threshold also indicates strong downward trends, like in this example. If you want a faster signal, use a 20 level for the ADX line, like in this EUR/USD chart. When ADX is below 25, traders must avoid trend trading strategies as the market is in accumulation or distribution phase. Here's a EUR/JPY chart with the ADX line below 25. We can clearly see the lack of a trend as the price basically trades in a range. In this other chart, ADX crossed below 20 level, signifying the end of a trend, or better said, the movement in a non-trending zone. So when we see the ADX line below 20 or 25 level, we forget about trend trading strategies and we apply strategies suitable for ranging markets. When the ADX is above 25 and the positive directional movement indicator is above the negative directional movement indicator, the ADX measures the strength of an uptrend. Here's an uptrend on the pound-yen pair. Observe the crossover between the two directional movement indicators as the ADX line is well above the 25 level. This resulted in an excellent bullish move. The same example on the Netflix daily chart. The positive directional movement indicator above the negative directional movement indicator and the ADX above 25 level signals a strong upward trend. When ADX is above 25 and the positive directional movement indicator is below the negative directional movement indicator, the ADX measures the strength of a downtrend. Here's a downtrend on the DAX index. The negative directional movement indicator crossed above the positive one, and once the ADX line stabilized above 25 level, we were safe to search for short opportunities. And here we have another example on the EUR/USD. The bears are in complete control of the market as the negative directional movement indicator is above the positive directional movement indicator and the ADX line rose to the 50 threshold, which leads us to the final interpretation of the ADX. Values over 50 of the ADX indicate a very strong trend. Check out this chart. Look at the ADX line hitting the 50 level. This implies a very strong bull rally. These movements are rare, but they do happen. Before you get into the trading strategy we'll use, let's consider the pros and the cons of using this indicator. So why is ADX useful for traders? First, it's excellent at quantifying trend strength. Also, it allows traders to see the strength of bulls and bears at the same time. Also, it's good at filtering out trades during accumulation periods and is also useful for identifying trending conditions. But the ADX has its own limitations. The most important disadvantage is the fact that the ADX is a lagging indicator that follows the price. So we must be very careful when we apply this indicator because we might miss the inception of the trend and join it when it's nearly over. Also, it offers many false signals when used on shorter time frames. It's advisable to trade it on higher time frames. Also, the ADX doesn't contain all the data necessary for a proper analysis of the price action, so it must be used in combination with other tools or indicators. Now that we fully covered the good and the bad regarding the ADX, let's see how we can use it in a trading strategy. The trading strategy involves a DMI crossover confirmed by the on-balance volume. As we previously saw, a common way to take entries with the ADX indicator is by spotting the DMI crossovers. The positive DMI, the green line, crossing above the negative DMI, the red line, suggests an uptrend, and the positive DMI, green line, crossing below the negative DMI, the red line, indicates a downtrend. However, this setup alone is not enough to be profitable and will offer a lot of false signals. I prefer to filter the entries with the on-balance volume. Basically, the OBV shows if the market's volume is flowing into or out of an instrument, whether it's a stock, a currency, or an index. We apply an 100 simple moving average to the OBV to determine the bullish and the bearish momentum on the market, and we search for trades when the two indicators are indicating the same thing. Here's an Apple chart on the 4-hour time frame. First, we determine the trend using the OBV and the 100 simple moving average. During this period, we observe that we have 3 crossovers, 2 uptrends, and 1 downtrend. Once we determine the main trend, we use ADX crossover as a tool for our entries. We have our first buy signal here, another one here, and another one after this gap, which also coincides with a solid breakout. Then we have 2 choppy signals around this area, and 1 final buy signal here, before the OBV turned into sell mode. After the OBV and the 100 simple moving average crossover, we switch to bearish setups. We have a short entry here, and another one here, and a choppy trade here. The momentum switched to the upside, and we start searching for long entries. Here's our first buy signal around this area, and another entry here, and we're currently in bullish mode. Let's look at another example on the Dow Jones Index. We immediately spot 3 major momentum changes. First, we have a long signal here, a great short here, a losing trade around this area, an excellent buy here, and another buy. This strategy is efficient on higher time frames and on instruments with some volatility and high average true range. So don't try to trade this setup on ranging markets or on instrument with low volatility, because you'll probably get something like this on your charts. Also, trade management is an important issue. There are many possibilities for trade management depending on your personality and the details of the exact trading plan. I personally go for a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio when I'm trading stocks that have a good volatility. I like this strategy because you are trading in the direction of a strong trend, which reduces risks and increases profit potential. One last thing, the price is the single most important signal on the chart. read the price first and then read the ADX in the context of what price is doing. Use ADX to determine whether the prices are trending or non-trending, and then use the trading strategy to trade in the direction of the trend. After all, the best profits come from trading the strongest trends and avoiding range conditions. If you got any value from this, please consider subscribing to our channel, hit the notification bell, share and like this video, as it will help us a lot in the future. Until next time.